right. Why do we fight, flight, or freeze in love? I want to speak a little bit today about some of the reactions that we can notice in ourselves in intimate relationships, our love relationships, our friendships, when we're dating. Some of the reactions that are not particularly helpful when we want to give or receive love. And I want to give some context for this and also give some tools and practices that you can do when you find yourself in one of these reactions. It's pretty commonly known that how we react in love when we start relating intimately with people has a lot to do with what we learned about love when we were young, has a lot to do with how we attached, how we were able to attach to our caretakers and what attachment style we developed out of those early years in our life. Let me just give a real quick overview of the attachment styles. And also, just to say, it's such a rich and beautiful topic. So, if you want to go deeper into attachment styles, there are tons of resources, and it's definitely worth doing some deeper research there. But let me just describe the overall framework of attachment. What is attachment? Attachment is, in this context, is human beings, us, being able to form a healthy bond, a healthy attachment with our caretakers when we are young, and building, hopefully, a basic sense of goodness and trust that other people love us and will take care of us or will listen to our needs, will respond to us. Basically, a sense of goodness and trust in life and other people. Now, this attachment process when we are young can go not ideally for a wild variety of reasons. A lot can be circumstantially. How did the birth go? Was there big trauma? Were you in an incubator? Were your parents able to be present with you? Were they able to breastfeed? Were they able to respond to your needs for attention? And of course every parent does their best, and we're resilient. Like we can we can be with quite a lot of imperfection, but in some cases, if there is a big trauma or a continuous not attuned reaction of our caretaker, we can start to feel less secure. So let's say that if everything goes well or well enough, we build a secure attachment. We have a basic sense of goodness. We trust ourselves. We trust other people. We trust life. Of course, there are struggles, but we have a certain resilience in life. If we have a wound or a trauma in that early bonding, it can show up as an avoidant, anxious, or disorganized attachment style. An anxious attachment style can look like feeling a low level anxiety in our bodies, in our life, and particularly when it comes to intimate relationships, we tend to be insecure. We tend to need a lot of validation. We tend to need to check over and over again. Do you still love me? Are you still there? Are you not leaving me? So there is a level of stress and anxiety. An avoidant attachment style shows up in withdrawing, in holding back, in feeling stressed when things get too close or too intimate, or when someone wants too much of our presence. And we create the reaction of withdrawing, of needing to create space, not being able or not wanting to open our heart, not wanting to be too vulnerable. One very important thing to know about attachment style is that they are on a spectrum. So we are not just one thing, and also it is not static. We can have a tendency to be avoidant, but we can learn to be secure. We can have a tendency to be secure, but start relating with a very anxious person and suddenly become a bit avoidant. So in our relationship, we tend to polarize, and we tend to take the opposite pole. So for example, in our past relationships, Troy and I both were pretty avoidant. When we started relating, when we started being in a relationship, I was more avoidant and Troy became more anxious. So we polarize that way. And through the work that we've done, we've both become more securely attached. So don't feel like you're labeled and doomed for the rest of your life. And that's also a reason why I want to make this video. It's good to notice what your tendency is, but know that you can become more secure and that in a healthy relationship, you will become more secure. So I just want to make a very quick note on healthy relationship, especially when we talk about, if our tendency is to leave or to withdraw. If your partner is fundamentally not willing to meet or listen to your needs, not willing to be with your process, if your partner is humiliating, if they are abusive, if they are gaslighting, right? That is not a healthy relationship. It is time to leave. So I just want to point that out, that there are situations in which you should not stay and cannot do this work together. You can only do this work together if you both agree that there is healing possible and that you're willing and excited in a way to do that relationship work to create more safety so that both of you can become more secure and the relationship as a whole can become more secure. So, what are some things that you can do when you notice yourself being triggered, when you notice yourself wanting to fight, wanting to flight, wanting to freeze? First thing is, in a way, what I just said, notice. Notice, oh, this reaction is going on. Because what's going on in the body is your primal brain is taking over. Your primal brain is signaling danger, and your most primal reaction, what you learned, what your coping mechanism was when you were young, is starting to become active. So, very important is that you start to learn the cues in your body. What are the cues in my body that tell me that my primal brain is coming online? Can be an increased heart rate, can be a tunnel vision, can be getting very angry or activated, getting restless, getting stressed, getting sad. All of those can be cues of your body. Then the next step, very, very, very important, is to not wanting to get over it, not judge it, but to accept and to start relating to it as a part in you. It's not the whole you, it's a part in you. It's the part in you that's young and afraid. Underneath almost every reactivity, there's fear. So start relating to that as a part in you that's afraid and say, hey, I got you. Many of us, when these reactions come up, it can surprise us. I know many of you know this, but when Troy and I met, we both felt we were pretty mature, stable, you know, grounded human beings. We were well developed adults, so to say. But when our inner parts came up, it's a shit show. It's children fighting with each other, children reacting to each other. So no matter how mature we are, in those parts we are not. We are not. So don't say, shut up, I have to get back to be mature. Of course, we want to get back to our mature self, but not by shutting up the parts in us that are afraid. So, first step is really to take care, to soothe yourself. What does it mean to soothe yourself? It means being very, very gentle, touching yourself, taking a warm shower, having a good meal, going out in nature, doing what you need to do to calm down your nervous system. Allowing some of that emotion. If you feel angry, allowing some of that anger. If you feel sad, allowing some of that sadness. Now, important, you don't have to let it overwhelm your nervous system. Actually, you do not want to overwhelm your nervous system. But it is important that the emotions are being felt and have the permission to move through your body, right? If you feel a rush of anger, it's really okay to hit a pillow. Don't hit a person, hit a pillow. If you feel a lot of sadness, it's really okay to cry. But if you feel an ocean of sadness and you fear you're never going to get out of it, you don't have to feel all of it all at once. Like dip your toe in it. Allow a little bit of it. If you feel overwhelming terror, you don't have to sit in the terror. Dip your toe in it. Shake a little bit. Allow your body to move and sound a little bit with whatever is going on. But stay resourced, stay regulated in your nervous system. Lastly, if you can, share with your partner that this is what's going on. Share with your partner, hey, this really young part in me that was not securely attached is showing up. It's feeling fear, it's feeling sadness, it's feeling anger, whatever is going on. Don't act it out, but share it as a part in you so that your partner knows, and perhaps your partner can even support. Maybe you have a request, hey, can you hold me for 10 minutes? Can you be present with me? Can you validate me? Right? Those are all requests, very specific, that your partner can respond to and can possibly help you if they are available for that. So these are some of the basic frameworks around why we fight, flight, and freeze and what to do. Let me know. Let me know what stands out for you. Let me know what you recognize in your intimate relationships. Let me know what your ways are to be with overwhelmed states, to be with inner children. Let me know if you have any questions, if you have any shares. I'd love to hear from you. If you want more resources on love, on relationships, check out my YouTube, my social media, my website, marieannawinter.com. Sending you so much love.